A year overseas. My wife had a child for her ex-boyfriend. When I returned after a year working overseas, I discovered my wife had cheated on me and given birth to another man's child. She confidently asserted I was just fulfilling my lover's wish to be a father, and then threw me out of the house during the divorce. Even crueler, at the child's first birthday party, she led the accusation that I had pinched the child, then smashed an ashtray over my head, leaving me bleeding profusely and almost turning me into a vegetable. I teamed up with her lover's ex-wife at the party to expose their deceitful plan to have a child as a means to inherit a fortune. That's when she realized she had been used as a pawn. After they turned on each other, in a fit of rage, she killed her lover with a kitchen knife, and then, holding the child, she turned on the gas stove and committed suicide. I had been working overseas for a year. The day I was flying back, just before boarding, my wife's ex-boyfriend, Justin Taylor, posted a social media post. "Thank you for letting me finally experience the joy of being a father." In the photo, Justin Taylor and a woman were standing close together, holding a newborn baby boy in their arms. Though the woman's face wasn't visible, I recognized the wedding ring on her hand instantly. I trembled all over, my face filled with bitter anguish. I demanded to know why Serena Miller had betrayed me. She confidently replied, "Justin has wanted to be a father for a long time. I was just fulfilling his wish. I just helped him have a child. What did I do wrong? Is it really necessary to get a divorce over this?" With no one to pick me up, I returned home alone, looking at the familiar yet strangely unfamiliar surroundings. I smoked for hours in silence inside the house. That evening, Serena Miller returned. She fanned away the smoke with her hand, coughing and saying with a look of disgust, "Ryan Reed, what's going on? Didn't you promise to quit smoking when we got married? Why are you back at it after going abroad? Do you even care what I say?" After a long silence, I spoke. "Forget about the smoking. Let's talk about the child." "Child? What child?" "The child you had with Justin Taylor." Serena Miller froze. "What are you talking about?" I took out my phone and opened Justin Taylor's social media post to show her. Seeing that the truth was out, Serena Miller admitted it openly. "Yes, I had a child for Justin while you were away. You know his wife has a congenital condition and can't get pregnant. Justin has always wanted a child, more than anything, to fulfill his wish. I made a small sacrifice. It's no big deal. You don't need to overreact." Overreact? I flared. After being away for 2 years, my wife not only cheated on me, but also had a child with another man. You call that overreacting? Serena Miller frowned. "Ryan Reed, what do you want? You just got home and you want to argue with me. Is that it? Can't a grown man be a little more magnanimous?" "I didn't cheat. I just did a good deed. I swear to God. Justin didn't touch me. It was artificial insemination." I said, "The child has already been born. Whether it was artificial insemination or not, it doesn't matter anymore." "Serena Miller, let's get a divorce." Serena Miller coldly said, "Fine, get a divorce. Just don't regret it, and tonight is sleeping on the couch. Don't even think about touching me." After she finished speaking, she kicked me out of the bedroom, slamming the door shut with a bang. Dragging my unopened suitcase, I left the house without looking back. I found a hotel and checked in, tossing and turning all night, my chest aching with anger. Out of desperation, I took a taxi to the hospital in the middle of the night. Only to my surprise, I ran into Justin Taylor and Serena Miller in the emergency room. Serena Miller was holding the child, and the child had a fever patch on his forehead. Seeing me, Justin Taylor's expression turned a bit awkward, while Serena Miller's face immediately fell. "Ryan Reed, what exactly do you want? You're not sleeping in the middle of the night. You came here to stalk us. Leo is sick. Justin couldn't handle it alone, so I came to help. Are you going to get jealous over something as small as this?" Seeing the family of 3 looking harmonious, I originally thought I'd fly into a rage and start yelling obscenities right then and there, but to my surprise, my heart was uncharacteristically calm, as still as stagnant water. "This must be what it feels like to be completely disheartened," I said. "Don't misunderstand. I came to the hospital to see a doctor." I showed her the medical report in my hand, but all I got in return was an eye roll from Serena Miller. "Ryan Reed, after all these years of marriage, who do you think you're fooling with your petty tricks? You probably picked that medical report out of a trash can." Seeing my silence, she assumed she was right and immediately sneered. "Ryan Reed, I don't want to argue with you. In public, Leo is sick. he has a fever of 102.2 degrees Fahrenheit, and I am not leaving until it breaks. Justin Taylor also said with a seemingly sincere expression, Ryan Reed, don't blame Serena. If you must blame someone, blame me. It's my first time being a father, and I don't have much experience. I get flustered when things happen. Luckily, Serena was here. Enough. I'll say it again. I am not here to stalk you, believe it or not. I interrupted him. Serena Miller. Tomorrow at 9 in the morning. Let's meet at the courthouse. Justin Taylor looked stunned. Ryan Reed, what do you mean by that? Are you going to divorce Serena? Serena Miller coldly said, that's right. Just because I helped you have a child, Ryan Reed is insisting on a divorce. Ryan Reed, I can explain this. Serena didn't cheat on you or betray you. We used artificial insemination. Justin Taylor sighed. Oh, it's all my fault for wanting a child so badly. But Eleanor doesn't have the ability to conceive, and you know that. Serena is very compassionate. She saw my distress and offered this solution herself. At first, I disagreed, but then she said she had discussed it with you, which is why I agreed. I scoffed. Justin Taylor, please stop pretending. That social media post yesterday, you blocked Serena Miller and purposely sent it only for me to see, didn't you? Before Justin Taylor could speak, Serena Miller interjected. Ryan Reed, stop talking nonsense. Justin isn't like that. He didn't block me. I was just busy with work and missed it. Seeing her desperately defend her ex-boyfriend, my already dead heart grew even colder. I looked at Serena Miller. Serena Miller, do you remember? In our second year of marriage, I asked you when we could have a baby. You answered without hesitation, saying you were still young, didn't want to ruin your figure too soon, and absolutely wouldn't consider it for at least 10 years. I agreed. And what happened? What you refused to do for me, you did with another man. So, having Justin Taylor's child wouldn't ruin your figure. Ask yourself, do you think he being fair to me? Serena Miller lowered her head, remaining silent. I coldly said, no matter how beautifully you try to explain it, this divorce is happening. Serena Miller defiantly raised her head and loudly declared, fine, let's divorce. See you at the courthouse tomorrow. Justin Taylor tried to persuade them. Ryan Reed, Serena, calm down. Divorce is not a minor matter. Serena Miller scoffed. Justin, you don't need to try and convince him. I have no use for such a petty man. The sooner we divorce, the better. The three of us eventually parted on bad terms. The next day, Serena Miller arrived as expected. After getting her divorce decree, she didn't even bother to say hello, just gave me a cold glance, and got into Justin Taylor's car. Driving away, I stood on the main road, lit a cigarette, and took a deep drag. Through the swirling smoke, I thought back to my past with Serena Miller. In college, she was the campus beauty, and I was just an ordinary poor guy. Even though I had feelings for her, and we were classmates, I never dared to confess them, because I felt I wasn't good enough for her. In our sophomore year, Serena Miller and Justin Taylor, the class president, publicly announced their relationship. Classmates showered them with blessings, praising them as a perfect match, made for each other. But just before graduation, Justin Taylor's family arranged for him to study abroad, and they reluctantly broke up. Serena Miller couldn't bear the blow and went to bars to drink herself senseless. I happened to be passing by and saw her being dragged into a car by three ill-intentioned men. I immediately yelled for them to stop. The three men cursed me for being nosy and threatened to beat me up. That was the first time I had ever been in a fight in my life. For Serena Miller, I put everything on the line. Fortunately, I won. The three men were driven away, but I was bleeding from my head, covered in bruises, and had a broken leg. Serena Miller, mostly sobered up, quickly took me to the hospital and visited me every day. After all that, Serena Miller slowly emerged from her emotional slump and became my girlfriend. For her, after graduation, I gave up a high-paying job and resolutely stayed in Willow Creek. After years of hard work, I had a house and a car, and I married her, just when I thought I would grow old together with Serena Miller and live a lifetime of happiness. Reality delivered a heavy blow. It turned out that in her heart, there had always been a place for Justin Taylor, and it was far more important than me. All my years of effort had amounted to nothing. I had become a joke. After the divorce, my days were surprisingly fulfilling, because Serena Miller was no longer my whole world. I could finally live for myself. During this time, I also asked friends to help me investigate some things. Justin Taylor's social media feed was updated daily, Besides photos of the child, there were more intimate photos of him and Serena Miller. Our college classmates liked and commented enthusiastically, "What a cute son. I want to hold him." With Justin and Serena's good genes, of course the baby would be beautiful. See? You two really are the perfect match. Everyone else needs to step aside. Justin, we're still waiting for your wedding reception. Have you set a date yet? Reading the comments, I realized that Justin Taylor had also divorced his wife. Now he and Serena Miller were living together, always seen as a loving couple. Justin Taylor replied, "The date is set, the child's first birthday. We'll hold the wedding reception and first birthday party together. Congratulations, Justin. You finally become a couple." I left a comment and liked it. Less than 5 minutes later, Serena Miller called. "Ryan Reed, don't forget we've been divorced for 2 months now. Why are you being bitter and jealous on Justin's social media post?" Being sarcastic and disgusting, I said calmly, "I am not being bitter or jealous. I am simply wishing you well. HMPH, you say pretty words, but everyone knows what you're really thinking." Serena Miller scoffed. "Ryan Reed, don't say I didn't warn you. Don't even think about ruining my relationship with Justin, or I won't let you off the hook." As soon as she finished speaking, I heard Justin Taylor's voice. "Serena, who are you talking to? Is that Ryan Reed?" "That's right, it's that despicable jerk. Let me talk to him." Justin Taylor took the phone and said with a smile, "Ryan Reed, thank you for your blessing. Next Sunday is my son's first birthday party. You wouldn't decline the invitation, would you?" Serena Miller, puzzled, asked from the side, "Justin, why are you inviting him? After all, we were classmates. The more people, the merrier." I knew exactly what Justin Taylor was thinking. Besides showing off, he wanted to humiliate me in public, because he had always resented me for taking advantage of a vulnerable situation back then. After a moment of hesitation, I nodded, "All right, I'll be there." After hanging up, I called Justin Taylor's ex-wife, Eleanor Vance, and asked her to meet up to talk. Eleanor Vance readily agreed. As fellow victims and failures of marriage, we couldn't help but feel a sense of melancholy when we met. Eleanor Vance was actually a very remarkable woman, young and beautiful, successful in her career, diligent, and devoted to her home. Her only flaw was that she couldn't have children, and she wasn't the woman Justin Taylor truly loved. Eleanor Vance and I talked a lot about marriage, about love, and about Serena Miller and Justin Taylor's betrayal. She said she was leaving this painful place to settle abroad, and her plane ticket was already bought. She asked me what my plans were. I didn't answer, instead handing her some prepared documents. After reading them, Eleanor Vance's expression changed slightly. "So that's it. No wonder Justin Taylor wanted to divorce me, that beast. I won't let him get away with this." The first birthday party was quite lively, with many classmates in attendance. Justin Taylor wore a sharp suit, and Serena Miller was in a white dress, looking sensually charming. Even after having a child, her figure hadn't changed at all. Guests came forward to congratulate them, offering blessings to the couple and the baby. When I arrived, everyone looked at me strangely. Why is Ryan Reed here too? He has the nerve to show up. What a thick skin, to be honest. I never approved when Serena Miller married him back then. Exactly, Ryan Reed was never good enough for Serena. It was like throwing a beautiful flower into cow dung. The only one worthy of Serena is Justin. I heard Serena Miller was forced into it back then. She didn't love Ryan Reed, but she had no choice but to marry him. That Ryan Reed, just from his looks, you can tell he's a despicable, cunning man. He's here for trouble today, isn't he? He's probably here to cause trouble. Does he have the guts? I dared to beat him up in college, and he'll do it again now. Hearing everyone's sarcastic remarks, Justin Taylor's smile grew even wider. He put his arm around Serena Miller's slender waist, and strutted proudly towards me. "Ryan Reed, you really kept your word. I was actually afraid you wouldn't come." I handed over the cash gift expressionlessly. "Congratulations. I wish your baby health and safety." Serena Miller watched me coldly, her gaze containing a hint of wariness. Justin Taylor, however, seemed unconcerned. He clapped me on the shoulder and chuckled. "Thanks. Oh, by the way, Ryan Reed, speaking of which, you played a significant part in me having this son. How about this? I'll have my son make you his godfather." His face was mocking, his smile hiding a dagger. Nearby, our old classmates started murmuring, "Justin, this kind of person doesn't deserve to be the child's godfather." I agree. Don't lower the baby's status. If he hadn't interfered back then, Justin and Serena would have finally become a couple years ago. Why wait all these years? Ryan Reed attending the first birthday party is bad luck for the baby. The silver lining is that Serena didn't have his child back then. Look at him. He's clearly not blessed with a son. I declined Justin Taylor's kind offer. After the meal began, Justin Taylor and Serena Miller started to circulate among guests, making toasts at each table. When they reached my table, they deliberately ignored me and walked right past. I didn't get angry, remaining calm in my seat. Just as the toasts were about to conclude, the sound of a child crying suddenly echoed through the hall. It was the baby in the stroller, who had started wailing uncontrollably at some point. Serena Miller couldn't comfort him no matter what she did. Everyone gathered around. Someone shouted, "Look! There's a handprint on the baby's arm. Someone must have pinched him hard. It's all bruised and purple. Who could be so cruel? No wonder he's crying so hard. Poor baby." Soon, everyone's gaze turned to me. Serena Miller glared at me, her eyes blazing. "Ryan Reed, was this your doing?" I shook my head, saying no. A female classmate immediately stepped forward and declared, "It was Ryan Reed. I saw him walk past the stroller just now." I explained that I had just gone to the restroom and merely passed by, and that I definitely hadn't pinched the child's arm. Justin Taylor's best friend said sarcastically, "If you didn't pinch him, then who did? Everyone here knows you harbor resentment towards Justin and Serena. You pinched the baby's arm purely out of jealousy and hatred. You don't dare to be open about it, so you resort to sneaky tactics. Ryan Reed, is truly a shameless and terrible person." Seeing her son's swollen, tear-filled eyes, Serena Miller was heartbroken, tears streaming down her face. Justin Taylor's smile also vanished. He said with a grim face, "Ryan Reed, if you have any grievances, you can say them, or you can take them out on me. Why torment a newborn baby?" Serena Miller pointed at my nose and cursed, "Ryan Reed, apologize." I argued, "I didn't do it. Why should I apologize? You can check the surveillance footage. If it turns out I did it, you can call the police." The female classmate fanned the flames from the side. "Don't listen to his excuses. He definitely did it. That's right. Don't let him off the hook. Make him beg for forgiveness from the child, or this isn't over. How malicious must his heart be to lay a hand on such a small child?" The more Serena Miller thought about it, the angrier she became. In a fit of rage, she grabbed the ashtray from the table and hurled it at me. Smash! The ashtray shattered, and I was hit, my head bleeding profusely, my mind buzzing, nearly collapsing to the floor. "Ryan Reed, you're an animal. You hurt my son, I'll fight you to the death." Seeing this, the other classmates swarmed forward, punching and kicking me. Justin Taylor pretended to mediate while secretly taking the opportunity to kick me a few times. Just as the scene descended into chaos, the hotel security guards rushed in and separated everyone, held back by others. Serena Miller glared at me, looking as if she wanted to tear me apart and devour me alive. My face covered in blood, I shakily leaned on a chair and stood up. A security guard asked if I wanted an ambulance. Just as I was about to answer, a group of people appeared at the entrance. Leading them was an elderly man in a wheelchair, and pushing him was Eleanor Vance, who had previously said she was moving abroad. Behind them followed bodyguards and a female secretary. Upon seeing William Taylor, Justin Taylor froze in place. He stammered, Uncle William, why are you back in the country?" William Taylor looked at him expressionlessly and said calmly, "What? Do I need to report my return to you beforehand?" "Uncle William, that's not what I meant." After seeing William Taylor's impressive entourage, even a fool would know that his wealth and status were extraordinary. The previously boisterous hall instantly fell silent, with only the baby's cries remaining. Eleanor Vance looked at me, her eyes questioning if I wanted an ambulance. I gently shook my head. William Taylor asked, "Whose child is that crying baby?" Justin Taylor quickly replied, "He's my son, Leo Taylor. He just passed his 100th day today." William Taylor narrowed his eyes slightly. "Oh, so today is his first birthday party, then?" "Yes, Uncle William," Justin Taylor said, his face full of flattery. "You've come at the perfect time. No one but you can give Leo his blessing." William Taylor's tone shifted. "Put the blessing aside for a moment. Justin, tell me, how did this child come about?" "Serena and I had him." Serena Miller's face no longer held its previous ferocity. She obediently walked up to William Taylor. She sweetly greeted, "Hello, Uncle William, HMM." William Taylor nodded non-committally. Serena Miller cautiously glanced at Eleanor Vance behind him, a hint of guilt on her face. Justin Taylor tentatively asked, "Uncle William, how long do you plan to stay this time?" William Taylor replied, "Not long, I'll leave once my will is settled." Upon hearing this, Justin Taylor's face immediately lit up with joy. William Taylor had worked hard overseas for decades, accumulating hundreds of millions in assets. Unfortunately, he had no children of his own, so he made an agreement with his nephew, Justin Taylor. If Justin had a child, he would inherit the entire fortune. I only found out this secret after having a friend investigate. Then I told Eleanor Vance, who was preparing to move abroad. This was Justin Taylor's true purpose for using another woman to have a child, which is why Eleanor Vance was so furious when she learned the truth. Looking at the expectant Justin Taylor, William Taylor said calmly, "I've decided to donate all of my assets to the International Red Cross." Justin Taylor was thunderstruck, completely dumbfounded. Uncle William, you're not serious, are you? You'd rather donate the money to others than leave it to me?" William Taylor retorted, "Why should I leave it to you?" Justin Taylor grew anxious. "We agreed before, as long as I had a child, you'd make me your heir? You have the nerve to bring up the child." William Taylor scoffed. "Justin Taylor, let me ask you, when you had a child with Serena Miller, had you divorced Eleanor?" Cold sweat beaded on Justin Taylor's forehead. No. And when Serena Miller was pregnant, was she a married woman? That, Justin Taylor stammered, unable to articulate anything for a long time. Slap. William Taylor suddenly raised his hand and delivered a sharp slap across his face. "Seducing another man's wife, using her to have a child, and then kicking out your longtime wife of many years. Justin Taylor, you've completely shamed the family's honor." Though advanced in age, his strength was considerable. Justin Taylor's right cheek visibly swelled. The old classmates stared at each other, wide-eyed. No one dared to step forward to mediate, including Justin Taylor's best friend. William Taylor trembled slightly, clearly beside himself with rage. He pointed at Serena Miller and cursed, "And you unfaithful, disgraceful woman. You seduced another man and had a child while your husband was away. If this were in the old days, you would have faced public disgrace. If Eleanor hadn't traveled all the way abroad to tell me about the terrible things you've done, I would have died in ignorance." Serena Miller's face turned pale from the scolding, and she didn't dare utter a single word. She secretly shot Eleanor Vance a venomous look. Justin Taylor knew things were going badly, and quickly said, "Uncle William, this is all a misunderstanding. Please let me explain." "It's already a fact. What's there to explain?" William Taylor fumed. "That illegitimate child you had with another man's wife is crying in the stroller right now, and you still have the nerve to throw a first birthday party." Bah! A thick, yellowish-red glob of phlegm landed squarely on Justin Taylor's face. Justin Taylor ignored the disgust, knelt with a third in front of the wheelchair, and, clinging to William Taylor's leg, wept profusely. "Uncle William, it was all my momentary foolishness. Actually, this whole thing was Serena Miller's doing. She seduced me, she said for all these years. She'd been longing to have a child for me. I couldn't resist her repeated temptations, which is why I agreed. Right, she's a loose woman. Please forgive me this once, for the sake of your own nephew. Get lost. I don't have a nephew like you." William Taylor scoffed. "What are you all standing around for?" As soon as he spoke, several tall, burly bodyguards immediately stepped forward and dragged Justin Taylor away like a dead dog. "This place is a disgrace. Every second spent here is torture. Let's go." Eleanor Vance pushed William Taylor away. The unwilling Justin Taylor tried to approach to plead, but the bodyguards prevented him, not letting him get near the wheelchair, and even pushing him to the ground. "Justin, are you okay?" Serena Miller stepped forward to help him up, but Justin Taylor suddenly exploded. He grabbed Serena Miller's hair and slapped her hard twice. "It's all your fault, all your fault. If you hadn't seduced me, and come up with that ridiculous idea of having a child, Uncle William's millions would have been mine. It's all your fault." Serena Miller's mouth was bleeding from the beating. Despite this, she didn't fight back, instead pleading, "Calm down, Justin, I am your wife." Wife. Bah. Ryan Reed's pathetic wife. Don't dream about it. I am not going to marry you. Take your son and get out. The old classmates couldn't bear to watch any longer and stepped forward to intervene. I took one last look at Serena Miller, and limped out of the hotel. As I walked out the main entrance, I saw a white BMW parked by the roadside. Eleanor Vance rolled down the window and looked at me. "Ryan Reed, are you okay? Get in the car quickly, it'll take you to the hospital." I said there was no need. It was just a minor injury. Bleeding. Eleanor Vance took me to the hospital, registered me, and handled everything. Bustling about, after my wounds were bandaged, she drove me home. On the way, I asked curiously if William Taylor had really decided to donate all his money. Eleanor Vance smiled slightly. "Whether he donates it or not, Justin Taylor won't get a single penny. Older generations value their reputation the most. As you just saw, he was truly furious." I nodded, but accidentally touched my wound, immediately wincing in pain. Eleanor Vance immediately pulled over, asking with a concerned expression, "What was wrong?" "Nothing, just pulled on the wound. Be careful, the doctor said your wound will take over a week to heal." Eleanor Vance hesitated. "How about this? Let me take care of you during this time." I quickly said there was no need. I could manage myself. Besides, with 2 single people, it might look bad if word gets out. Eleanor Vance brushed a strand of hair from her forehead and said openly, "What's wrong with that? He's single, and I am single. Who can gossip about us?" I could only say, "But it's too much trouble for you." "It's no trouble. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have known Justin Taylor's true colors. I would have thought he just got tired of our relationship." Eleanor Vance's eyes softened. "Ryan Reed, you're a good man. You shouldn't be treated this way by life. Let me take care of you these next few days, okay?" She pleaded repeatedly. So I finally agreed. Under Eleanor Vance's meticulous care, my wounds healed quickly. I also experienced the happiness of being cared for the first time. After marrying Serena Miller, I was always the one taking care of her. She never took care of me. Laundry, cooking, grocery shopping, mopping, I basically did it all myself. Even having to push myself to do chores when I was sick, though it was tiring, I did it willingly, because she was the only one in my heart. I loved her deeply, a love that permeated my bones, that entered my very soul. When she laughed, I would be happy with her. When she cried, I would kiss away her tears. If she was sick and wouldn't take medicine, I would tirelessly follow her around, coaxing and persuading her. I was like a satellite, constantly revolving around Serena Miller, never stopping. A year ago, my company's manager approached me and asked if I could work overseas. When I heard the assignment would last at least a year, I refused, because I didn't want to be away from Serena Miller for too long or too far. When Serena Miller found out, she called me an idiot. "It's only a year. It'll pass in the blink of an eye. You could get promoted and get a raise when you come back. Why would you refuse?" I listened to her and eventually went abroad, but I never imagined that on the day I returned, the first thing I would hear was the news that she had a child with another man. I had loved her with all my heart, only to be betrayed. What a bitter irony. After my wounds had completely healed, Eleanor Vance still came to my home every day to do my laundry and cook meals. I felt a bit awkward and tried to tell her not to come several times, but she insisted. Even a fool would have noticed by now that she had feelings for me. One afternoon, as Eleanor Vance was busy in the kitchen, Serena Miller showed up at my door, after not seeing her for over a week. The once radiant woman now looked haggard and aged. When I opened the door, I almost didn't recognize her. Serena Miller's face was full of sorrow, and she was holding a baby in her arms. It turned out that after Justin Taylor realized there was no hope of inheriting Uncle William's fortune, he furiously kicked her out of the house. Judging by the bruises on Serena Miller's arms and forehead, she must have been abused quite a bit these past few days. In the past, this would have been absolutely impossible, because I couldn't bear for her to suffer even the slightest harm. Even if she just lightly cut her finger with a knife, I would feel heartbroken for days. Ryan Reed, I was wrong. Justin doesn't love me at all. He just used me as a reproductive tool, and kicked me aside after he was done. He threw me out of the house. He's not even human. Wah. It turns out the only person in this world who was ever truly good to me was you. I regret it so much. I truly regret it. Serena Miller cried and leaned against me. She wanted to lean on me, to seek protection. Just like before, I pushed her away expressionlessly. "Mrs. Taylor, please have some self-respect. We're not married anymore." Serena Miller's face showed surprise. She probably never dreamed I would do such a thing. "Ryan Reed, are you deaf? My child and I are homeless. Justin doesn't want us anymore. Are you going to kick us out too, leaving my child and me on the streets?" Ryan Reed, you were never this cruel before. I coldly said, as you know, that was in the past, Serena Miller. The moment I learned you had a child for Justin Taylor, my heart died. Do you remember the ashtray you threw at me on the day of the first birthday party? You threw it so accurately and violently. The doctor said if it had been with a little more force, I could have become a vegetable. I finally know what I meant to you. Serena Miller looked embarrassed. Still trying to explain. Ryan Reed, listen to me. I really was blinded by rage at the time, which is why I hit you so hard. But you're also at fault here. You absolutely shouldn't have hurt the baby. He's my flesh and blood. As his mother, what I did was completely normal. Just then, Eleanor Vance emerged holding a kitchen knife. She scoffed, Serena Miller, stop making excuses for yourself. Afterwards, I had someone check the hotel surveillance footage. The one who pinched the child was none other than Justin Taylor, and he did it right in front of you. I'd like to ask you, since you were so blinded by rage, why didn't you smash the ashtray over high head then? Instead, you smashed it over the head of the completely innocent Ryan Reed. Serena Miller was completely stunned. After a moment of blankness, she suddenly remembered something and shrieked, Eleanor Vance, why are you in my husband's house? Your husband's house? Eleanor Vance chuckled. Please, you've been divorced for almost 3 months. Aren't you embarrassed saying things like that? Serena Miller shrieked, Ryan Reed is mine. Even if we're divorced, he still loves me. What right do you, a piece of trash discarded by Justin, have to seduce him? Eleanor Vance said, whether he loves you or not is not for you to decide. Serena Miller turned her gaze to me. Ryan Reed, you once said you'd love me forever, and you swore an oath. Have you forgotten all that? Don't you love me anymore? I sighed. Serena Miller, I'll say this one last time. I did love you, but that's all in the past now. We're over. Everyone has their own lives. I won't bother you, and please don't bother me again. After saying that, I slammed the door shut. Serena Miller pounded on the door, crying and shouting, Ryan Reed, I was wrong. I know I was wrong. For the sake of all our years together, will you please forgive me just this once? I'll only be good to you from now on. I'll have your children, many, many children. Ryan Reed, say something. I silently clenched my fists, ignoring her no matter how pitiful she acted. A pair of gentle hands wrapped around me, and Eleanor Vance's red lips softly kissed my face. Ryan Reed, don't go soft. That kind of woman isn't worth looking back for. I nodded. After about 10 minutes of her clamoring, Serena Miller finally left. I saw her from the balcony, holding her child, looking completely lost and dejected under the setting sun. Her shadow stretched long and distorted. A month later, an old classmate called me to tell me Justin Taylor and Serena Miller had died. I asked how they died. My classmate said that after Serena Miller married Justin Taylor, she was basically beaten and abused every day. Last night, a drunken Justin Taylor beat her savagely again. Serena Miller, bruised and swollen, silently cleaned up the vomit on the floor, fed her child, then took a kitchen knife from the kitchen and dismembered Justin Taylor. The body was chopped very finely. Even the police and forensic examiners nearly vomited when they arrived. After killing Justin Taylor, Serena Miller closed and sealed the doors and windows, turned on the gas stove, and held her child as they ended their lives. After hearing it, I felt a pang of regret, but mostly, I felt relieved. I had actually guessed long ago that the two of them wouldn't come to a good end, but I never expected their end would be so tragic. It served them right, I suppose. Though I felt sorry for the child, I put down my phone and looked up. Eleanor Vance, dressed in a pristine white wedding gown, was slowly walking towards me. Honey, what do you think of this wedding gown? She smiled brightly, her beauty radiating. I smiled faintly. It's perfect. Let's go with this one. It seems a bit pricey, though. Not at all. Honey, I forgot to tell you something. What is it? Uncle William has decided to adopt me as his goddaughter. He also made a new will, and all his assets will be inherited by me. Eleanor Vance beamed. Forget just this one wedding gown. Your wife could buy the entire bridal shop. Also, my infertility has been cured, and I can have children for you. My heart was filled with mixed emotions. The things Justin Taylor desperately yearned for, others could obtain with ease. Just like Serena Miller, no matter how hard I tried back then, her heart was always set on another man. Thankfully, everything was now in the past. What awaited me was a beautiful and happy tomorrow.